Hey guys, today I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about. We always talk about ourselves as expats on the expat channels, but we don't often talk about the needs of our family or our girlfriends. A lot of times you can get, if you're married, you can get family health insurance, or you can get health insurance for everybody in your family. And you may want to think about this, even if you don't have kids, if you're just married or you're living with a girl. A lot of guys don't think about buying insurance for their live-in girlfriend, or even their wife sometimes for that matter. And it's kind of a really bad expat habit. And a lot of people say, well, you're stupid doing that because she'll probably be gone from you in 6 months or a year. What does it matter? Blah, blah, blah. And that's the foul attitude of some of the expats over here that they have. You know, you can buy a year's worth of insurance, and it's only a year's worth of coverage. If she leaves you or whatever, then she leaves with some coverage and she's okay for a while, and that's good for her. It's so cheap to get. Pacific Cross offers plans that are really cheap. We call them the peso plans. It's in pesos, and they have the ward, the semi-private, and the private. You can call Michael Onstad for that if you're interested in that. It's Onstad on Messenger, Michael Onstad. Okay, but he sells insurance for everybody, and we've talked about him. You've seen him on other people's channels. My channel, we've talked about him. He's a member of our group, by the way, and he's actually kind of a representative for all expats for insurance here. But he also will sell you insurance for your girlfriend. And reason why I want to talk about this, and I'm not trying to push Michael, but Michael is a really, really good agent for Pacific Cross, and he represents us well, and it's one of the reasons why I mentioned him. But this isn't the reason why I'm talking about this here. It's something that we do forget as expats, is to cover our girlfriends here, to cover our families here. If the girl has kids, you may want to cover them too. They might not even be your kids, but it's cheap coverage. At least get them ward coverage or something like that. Also, there's these cards out there. They're for outpatient. When you go into one of these doctor's offices, they usually have a list of all the names up there, of all the cards that they accept. And those cards sometimes are like, if you're below 60, they're usually about $100 per year. And they'll cover you every time you go into the doctor. They're well worth it. They cover some of them cover tests and all kinds of other stuff. And then there's other ones that cover less. But you want to look into those, because at first I thought that they were junk because it only covered like certain things, but it was outpatient. Okay? And there's the magic thing. For $100 or $200, you can get outpatient coverage for the whole year. Go into that doctor and they'll do all the tests and all that stuff. It's not going to cover prescriptions in most cases. Most of those cards, though, are not that bad. I thought that they were junk. You have to get different insurance for inpatient, okay? But these cards are phenomenal for the prices that they charge for them. You can walk into a doctor's office and get all your tests done and see a doctor several times a year. And it's $6 for me to see my doctor, but I usually go in to see my doctor, I'd say probably 4 times a year, and I probably get a few tests done, x-rays, stuff like that. Most of that stuff would be covered under some of these cards, okay? So you'd be all set, okay, to go in there. And, you might reach 100, you might go over 100. If it's $200 per year, maybe you want to self-insure or something, for outpatient. But you know what? I would get it because of the fact that if you go into your doctor, let's say in a hospital or whatever, and the doctor says, all right, you need to get these tests done. Usually there's a little facility around you, somewhere around there, or maybe even in the hospital, that accepts those cards. And you can go get all those tests done, and guess what? It's going to be covered on that card. So they are quite good. They come in handy. It might mean a little bit more running around to get tests done. But remember, the doctors are all covered. Everything's covered. So it might be worth it at least to get something like that for your girlfriend. It's $100, $200. Get her something like that. If she's running to the doctors often for little things, and you don't want to get the full coverage for inpatient or something like that, and she has Phil Health or whatever, and you say, well, I'll cover whatever the Phil Health doesn't, then at least get her the outpatient card. Get her outpatient card. Pacific Cross has outpatient too, but these things are cheaper than that. Okay, I believe that they're a little bit cheap. I'm not sure. You can talk to Michael and see what he thinks of them. I've looked at some of them. Some of them are actually pretty good. Some people say no, they're not. I've talked to to Rich Sinfuls, who does our moderator on our live streams, and he has these cards and he loves them. He thinks that they're great, but it's something to look into for your girlfriend. You want to give your girlfriend a really good gift. Look into those cards, see which one fits her the best or fits you the best if you want to get one too, or possibly her kids or whatever, or your kids, and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to get this here. She has Phil Health. Maybe I'll get an inpatient thing for her. I'll get her to the ward or something, just in case. At least she'll be on the ward. She'll be getting care in the facility at the hospital, whatever. Make sure you take care of your girls, guys. A lot of us expats, we tend to be very self-centered. We think about ourselves all the time, and I see that with a lot of the guys here. They're like, screw them. I don't know how long I'm going to be with her. I might be with her for 6 months or a year or whatever. Who knows, and then they end up a year later, they're still with her or something like that or whatever. And then somebody gets sick or something. I've seen expats that were with girls. I was talking to a guy down in Chagall. His girlfriend got really, really sick, and she kept having to go into the hospital all the time. And he was on a limited budget, and he told me he had to break off with her because he just couldn't afford the medical care for her. That's kind of sad when you think about it, that you just dumped your girlfriend because she's sick. That's where you need at least some sort of coverage. You can get, $9,000 US in coverage, I think it is, on the ward plan. And they're really, really cheap plans through Pacific Cross. And then you can get the semi-private, and then you're going to get right around 18,000 US, give or take a few dollars. And then you can get the private, which is a little bit more. That we call it the peso plan. And again, you can call Michael Onstad for that. There are other insurance companies out there, but the reason why I recommend Michael, because Michael represents you too in the company. If you have a problem, make sure you read the small print and everything in there too. Make sure you understand what he's offering you, and that the first year you're going to get limited coverage, because they're trying to get, weed out the pre-existing conditions, especially if it's for you. And I try to get people thinking about this insurance stuff, because it's probably one of the things that's going to hit you and your girlfriend, because a lot of the guys here also have women that are in their 50s and 60s and 40s or whatever, and they start falling apart at those ages. They have diabetes, they have heart problems, or they might have skin conditions or something like that. They might have maybe they need to have some sort of operation or something, a gallbladder removed or whatever. God knows what's coming down the pike for us. And I want to make sure that I'm covered and I have the coverage to go in there and get this stuff done. I don't want to be, I don't want anything to happen to me, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to a girl that I was with, or a woman that I'm married to, or what have you. And I don't think you guys really would either when it comes down to it. I mean, there are some selfish expats out there, let's face it, but I think the majority of people out there are good, decent people, and they want to take care of their woman also. So I just want to put this out there today, because it's something a lot of expats don't think about, and they don't even put it in their budget. Put it in your budget, guys. It's not that costly. It's not that costly. For the outpatient, it's $100 to $200 to get the card. Some cards are cheaper or a little bit more than others, depending on what you get with it. Also, you can go to Pacific Cross, as I mentioned. There's many other insurance companies. I'm not just trying to, lead you on to Pacific Cross, but it is one of the better companies over here. Some people said it gets bad reviews. I'm going to tell you right now, the reviews that I've gotten from the people that have used it are good reviews. I've used it myself, okay? I used it in the emergency room. They covered what they said that they would cover, and I was happy that they covered that. So just make sure you really look into the company that you're getting into. Michael will speak to you. Michael Onset, he'll speak to you if you have questions about Pacific Cross and you want to run some things by him. Talk to him on Messenger. Messenger is the best way to get in touch with him. Michael will help you out. You can get him on Facebook Messenger. He'll talk to you all you want, ask all the questions you want. He'll send you proposals or whatever you need, how much it's going to cost or what have you. He's a really, really good guy. He comes to most of our dinners, and I'll vouch for Michael 100%. Michael is an outstanding agent for Pacific Cross. He meets with the people that run the company and own the company, and he's just phenomenal. You don't have to worry about Michael at all. Like I said, I'd vouch for Michael in a heartbeat, because I've seen him take care of the people in our group and other expats here, and everybody's been happy with what they bought for the most part. I haven't run into anybody that has spoken a bad word about Michael or Pacific Cross. Okay, so that's what I'll say about it. But anyway, guys, remember, look into those cards that they have out there. And remember, they're not for inpatient, they're for outpatient. So if you do want to get your girl or yourself some insurance, look into them. There's many, many cards, and there's usually a list of them in your doctor's office. Each area has different cards. There's some cards that are specific to certain areas in the Philippines, and other ones that are all throughout the Philippines. You want to get the ones where you can use it the most in your area. Say, what's the best card to get in this area here? And usually the doctor will tell you, or the person at the front desk, the receptionist there will tell you, hey, these 2 cards or these 3 cards are good. And ask them for any information, or you can just look them up online, you know. But anyway, guys, God bless, take care. I hope that helped you guys a little bit today. Remember, take care of your girlfriends and take care of your wives as far as insurance goes. God bless, guys. Take care.